So in this video, I'm going to go through how to create a broadcast campaign. So once you're logged into your dashboard, the first thing you're going to want to do, and I'm going to actually stop for a second and say the prerequisite to creating a campaign will need to be that you do have your sender profile created. Here you can see that the sender profile is created, and if this isn't created, you're going to get stuck on one of the steps for the campaign. So first things first, make sure that you did the sender profile. If you have not done the sender profile, there is a video here that you can watch to do that. So under the assumption that you've already created your sender profile, let's click on campaigns and then broadcast campaigns. From the dashboard, I believe you can also click on broadcast campaign as well, and that will bring up your menu to select the campaign. So I'm just going to kind of show you the other way as well. Here is a button for new campaign, and you can click on new campaign and it brings you to the same exact place. So here you'll see that there's the HTML editor, there's a template designer, and there's some pre-designed templates. In this demonstration, I'm going to use the HTML editor. This is our most popular used option here. Once I select that, it's going to ask me to create a new email campaign, and I will go ahead and do that. This is a new campaign name. I will call this, I'm going to call this Thanksgiving Demo. And I click create, and this brings us to our editor. And you'll see here in the editor you have options for merge tags. So if you want to automatically add a person's first name in, you can. Last name, any of the fields that you've added into the system, you can populate inside your HTML email. You can do that just by clicking on the option here. Once you have an idea of the toolbar here, there's options to actually copy from a previous email. You can upload a file, you can import from URL, or you could just use the editor and go ahead and type. If you have a design from your designer or your creative team, you can click on source and paste the source code right in here. Let me show you how to do that now. Our design team created this Happy Thanksgiving template for us to send out to our customers. And basically it looks like this. Now, for me to copy that source code in, I'm going to view the page source, and this is what the code looks like, and I'll just copy the entire thing, and I'll click copy, and then I'll go right in here, and what I'll do is I'll paste it over what's there already, and I hit Control V to paste, and now you see the code in here. Now, in order to see what the HTML looks like, I just click on this source button one more time. And as you can see now, I've just moved that creative right inside of Emercury. Now, if you see an X on one of your images, you may need to just double click on the image, and that will bring you into the image properties. What you might have to do is click on the image manager, and you'll need to make a folder. So in this case, I'm just going to call a new folder, and I'm just going to call this, let's say, holiday, and select the folder, and then I can upload an image right into that folder. So if I hit browse, it's going to go look for images on my desktop. I don't have any, so let me do this so I can show you how this works. I'm going to go back into here. I'm going to save this image just so you can see how I upload it. I'll just call it, there we go. And now I can go in here and I can go upload, browse, and this was the image that I just saved, and there it is. And I click upload, and what you'll see is now it's in your image manager. If you click the magnifying glass, this actually gives you an idea what it looks like, the dimensions. It actually even gives you a source path in case you want to use that, and you can click copy path. If you click close and you simply select the image by clicking on it, it will put a color border around it that shows it was selected, and then you can click insert selected. Now it actually inserts the image. Here on this page, you could also change the height and width, and this lock button actually locks the ratio if you want to do that. If you want to link up that image to somewhere on your site, you can do that as well. So if I wanted this to go to our website, I can simply type in our website and I can click OK, and now this is hyperlinked. That's the same for words as well. So if I wanted to hyperlink the word Emercury down here, I can highlight the word, and I could either right click, and if you're using a Mac, you could do a 2-finger click, and that'll bring up a menu, and you can, let's see. Actually, I thought you could do that, but I guess you would have to go up here and click this icon right here. And now it brings up this link window. I could do HTTPS, and I could just type in www.emercury.net. I think once the URL is selected, then you can actually do the, yeah, there we go. If I do the 2-finger click now on an already existing link, I can edit the link or I can unlink it. So if I click edit link, it brings me right back there. So that's what I was trying to show you before. Now, if I did want to use the person's name in this, I can go ahead. I just pressed enter twice to give me some space. I'm going to go back up to the merge tag, and I'm going to say first name. So now the first name is there. Just remember to make the font exactly the same across the whole thing. You can select the entire paragraph or whatever you want to change the font on, and select the font that you want to use. We do have some Google fonts here as well. If you want to use those. In this case, I'm going to just try to make this as simple as possible. And now it's all uniform. The last thing you want to do is make it look like you've inserted somebody's name and you didn't actually do it yourself. So this now makes it all look uniform. It'll populate the person's name if and only if you have that person's first name tied to the email address in your list. Now, there are a lot of other things here. If you wanted to add a photo in here, let's just say we wanted to put this Happy Thanksgiving photo at the bottom as well. I can put a marker there, and then I can go up to the toolbar and hit this icon, which is the image icon. And this brings me back to where we were before. This image manager is where your images are going to reside. I'll select the image again. And this time, maybe I'll make this a little smaller. Let's say we make it 75. See how it automatically changed the height and width there. And let's say I wanted to link this to a different page on Emercury. Let's just say it was holiday. And I click OK. And now you can see there's a smaller icon because I made this smaller. And it is also linked. If I double click on this, it brings me back in. You can see all the settings. I can adjust the settings if I want. And the reason I did the 2 links is because I want to show you on the next page what this looks like. So once you're done working in here, and you'll see there's a lot of other options in here that you can play around with. If you needed to create a button, this is a button icon. If you needed to use bold or italics or underline, changing colors of fonts is available here. Highlighting is right here. And there are some recipient details here as well. This is like the merge tags, but if let's say you wanted to put an unsubscribe at the bottom here by yourself. As a reminder, we do automatically put an unsubscribe link at the bottom of every email, but if you wanted to incorporate it into your email, for example, you wanted to say something along the lines of, if you, let's say down here, if you no longer would like to receive our emails, please click here to unsubscribe. If I wanted to do something like that, I could highlight this word here and use the recipient details and go to where it says remove, recipient remove. And now that is linked up. That is an unsubscribe link. So now you have, and you'll see when you put your mouse over, it says remove me link. So let's go now and go to the next step where, let me just show you what the preview, there's a preview email button down here, which actually shows you what the email will look like. We do have a check HTML structure, which will go over things that might need to be changed or updated. Let's click on that real quick here. And this says missing or empty alt attribute image tag has been detected. So this means, this is probably the one I added here. There's no alternative text. So we'll call this Thanksgiving. Now, the reason you'd want to do this is in case the images don't show for one reason or another on the ISP side or the mailbox provider side, because they have images blocked, at least you'll have some descriptive text there in that area. So I can call this Thanksgiving or Happy Thanksgiving, and that would be good enough. And I think if I do this check HTML structure now, it'll say everything looks good. Hasn't detected anything suspicious, so everything looks good. So I can hit Save Campaign, which it'll do. I can also send myself a test if I wanted to. So if I hit Edit Test Group, I'd select a message category, and maybe this is under holiday announcements. And I have my email here, and I hit Save and Send, and now it's sending me a test to my test email address. I can click Next, and this is the part where I was telling you, if you did not have your sender profile set up, you'd be stuck here. This is where the sender profile is tied to, and without that, you won't be able to move forward. Here, you're going to type in your message category. In this case, it was holiday. Once you start typing, it auto fills. You'll notice these icons here that kind of give you a little bit of an understanding of what to do here. You'll also notice these plus signs. This gives you the opportunity to add multiple from names and multiple subject lines. And then lastly, we have this statistics area where this is what I wanted to show you. If I click on this, now you'll see that I have two URLs. There was the one that says holiday, and there's the one that's plain. And if I want to track them all, I select all, and I hit Save and Continue. I could also classify what kind of URLs these are. These are both holiday announcement URLs. This is used if you're going to do some sort of segmenting later on, or triggers based on what category they clicked on inside your email. So I'll save that. And then we have some advanced options under here. As a reminder, in our learnings, on the footer of every page that you're on, there is a learning center based on that page. So if you needed to understand tracking or the profile or how to create a campaign, that is all there. Under the advanced options, we do have some options that are not widely used, which is why we put them here. However, one that you might be interested in is the Google Analytics. If you did want to track this through Google Analytics, you would just put in your campaign name here if you'd like. So this is called Thanksgiving Demo, and I might just type in Thanksgiving Demo. You can add the openers to a specific list. This is a permission reminder that reminds the person how you got, how they were added to your list. And this is a delivery reminder that basically says to add to your email address to their address book. You can also have a delivery stop time. So if you have a really, really large campaign and you need to be stopped by a certain time period, let's say it's Black Friday and you started mailing stuff out at 11:30 p.m. at night. For Black Friday, you needed to stop at midnight, you can put that time in there. And that's pretty much it. We do have a preview here. One other thing I did want to point out, you can add variables into the subject line and emoji icons. If there's an emoji icon that is not listed here in our, basically our cheat sheet here, you can copy and paste off of the internet. So if you find an emoji website that, so here's a Thanksgiving one, so we can put that there. And I'm also going to show you what the variable looks like. What I was saying was you can just copy and paste it off of the emoji website and paste it in here, and that should work as well. We tried to put as many as we can in there, but there are definitely a lot of them out there. Why to use an emoji icon? It does stand out inside the subject line, and when you're fighting for space in the inbox, you do want to make yourself as noticeable as possible. I like to actually put the emoji first, so they see that first. And if you wanted to put the person's name, just click on this Insert Variables here, and this will give you all your fields. So I'd say first name, and now it'll say Happy Thanksgiving. And if it was going to me, it'd say Michael. So that's step 2. You'll also see the preview here of how it would look inside the mailbox. It's going to be coming from Emercury, and it's going to look like that. Happy Thanksgiving. Now, step 3 basically is selecting your list. And if you haven't created your list yet, which you should have done first, you can create it here. If I was to create a list here and just call this demo list 3, I would agree to the terms, read the terms and anti-spam policy before you create any list or import anything. But I'm going to select that. I'm going to click create, and I do have my list now showing there. If I wanted to use this list, and right now it says 0 subscribers, I can actually start to import contacts into that list as well from here if I wanted to. And I also, if I wanted to select a suppression list, I can create a suppression list and import contacts into that suppression list as well. If you're looking for more information on what a suppression list is, you can watch you could read our knowledge base article on what a suppression list is. In short, it just basically suppresses any emails, cross-references any emails from your audience that you're mailing to, and the suppression list. Basically, if there's email addresses on there, it will not mail to those addresses. So you might use this per campaign versus an unsubscribe, which is for your entire list. You can also, instead of doing this here under the list area, when you go to view list, you'll see all your lists. When you go to suppressions, you'll see all your suppressions, and you can manage them there as well. Now, let's say I'm going to mail to demo list 3, and I'm going to go to my last step, which is basically a preview of all the work you've just done. So step 4 is just a preview. You can also do a spam test here. This is our own proprietary spam test. It checks against 150 different points and gives you a score based on 150. You can preview, you can schedule delivery. So if I wanted to send this on the 18th at, let's say I wanted to send it right before people went home, I'd do 4 p.m. and I'd hit schedule. I can send it to my test group again if I wanted to do that again, and I can also hit send now. Send now will send it immediately, and if I was to send it immediately right now, since there's no one on the list, it wouldn't do anything. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to edit, which will bring you back to that step, and I'm going to go back to selecting a list that has a contact in it. I'm going to click next, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to click send now. And you'll see that it says, are you sure? And I say, yes. And that's it. That's how you create a campaign. That'll bring you to your report center afterwards. And if you want to see a video on the reporting, go over to the reporting area and you'll see a video icon on understanding reporting.